There is Uber and Lyft in the US, and there is Kakao Taxi in Korea. There is Grab in Southeast Asia. Uber, the world's #1 car-sharing service, once entered the Southeast Asia market and fought a bloody battle with Grab. It's worth noting, Grab, the company that drove out Uber and topped the list to more than 400 cities in 8 Southeast Asian countries, has become the first Southeast Asian decanon company with more than 10 trillion in total. How did it grow to be like this? Today, we're going to talk about Grab. Grab's founders started with a joint venture between Anthony Tan and Huy Ling Tan. Anthony Tan is an economics major at Harvard University, and his grandfather was born into the Chaibol family, the founder of Tanchen Motors, which imports the Japanese car Nissan to Malaysia. He majored in economics at Harvard University Business School and planned to return to his hometown to inherit the business. At the time, a friend talked about complaints about the taxi service in Malaysia, and Tan didn't just listen to the complaints, but took them as a business opportunity. He then planned his business with Huy Ling Tan, a friend from his time at Harvard MBA school, and participated in a business competition and won $25,000 in prize money after finishing second along with Grab's predecessor, the MyTaxi idea. After that, he went to Kuala Lumpur, the capital of Malaysia, and launched an app called MyTaxi in 2012. In truth, his father's wish was that he wanted Tanchen Motors to be inherited by Anthony Tan. But since he opted for this startup, it proved hard to get funding from him. Anyway, he founded and launched MyTaxi, and at that time, it was not easy to enter the market because there were not that many people in Southeast Asia who had a smartphone, and taxi drivers were even more difficult to get on board. So after the launch of the first MyTaxi app, the number of taxi drivers on the platform was less than 40, so it was difficult to start the business. Anthony Tan, the person who decided to forego their position as heir to the Chaibol Group in order to pursue this startup. He pursued taxi drivers by visiting them in person to show them how to use smartphones, explaining that customers will use the app a lot and that taxi drivers can earn a significant amount of money. They even met with mobile phone manufacturers and telecommunication company employees to discuss supporting taxi driver smartphone purchase subsidies. Taxi drivers who used MyTaxi soon experienced the convenience and profitability of MyTaxi and spread the use by word of mouth. And then MyTaxi became more and more popular. And in 2013, the name was changed from MyTaxi to GrabTaxi. Grab's number of subscribers increased to 30,000 in just 2 years since its foundation. At that time, all could see Grab's growth in the Southeast Asian market and confirmed its potential. Soon after, Uber, a US ride-sharing leader, planned to enter Southeast Asia to eat up the market. Grab couldn't avoid competition with Uber, and it was a disaster for Grab, who was just beginning to grow. Uber thought it could easily beat Grab by running internet advertising based on its enormous capital strength and using the best proven technology. But that was Uber's big mistake. This had no effect at all on Southeast Asia because the internet penetration rate itself was less than 30%. But at this time, Grab, who understood the local area well, acted differently. Rather, they started to push Uber by aggressively increasing offline offices that could help taxi drivers sign up and tell them how to use their platform. Uber, along with developers, is based on the best technology in the office, insisting on credit card payments for convenient services. Like in the United States, it tried to innovate with a ride-sharing app through a car taxi. But Grab was different. Grab's developers worked by identifying, receiving, and correcting problems in the field. Unlike Uber, they worked in an office and did not rely on technology, but based on sounding out the field. Therefore, in line with the sentiment of the Southeast Asian market, with not only car taxis but also tricycle and motorcycle taxis, where credit card payments are not always possible, they began to localize thoroughly by strengthening the cash payment function. As a result, Uber declared surrender to Grab after 5 years of struggle, and Grab acquired Uber, which entered Southeast Asia in 2018. Grab's spirit can be felt in Huy Ling Tan's interview. Southeast Asia is socially and economically divided. It should be considered 30 countries, not 30 cities in 6 countries. In other words, Southeast Asia markets have different cultures in each city. Grab started its business in Malaysia, but studied the country's language, culture, and emotions whenever it expanded to other Southeast Asian countries. And it has grown into a decanon in Southeast Asia by thoroughly localizing it according to the country. Beyond that, Grab's story remains interesting. Unlike countries that mainly use phone and audio messages, Southeast Asia loves chatting. Just look at Shopee, the largest e-commerce platform in Southeast Asia. Unlike Korean consumers, this is a culture of purchasing products after chatting unconditionally. Founders who knew that part well created a function to chat with drivers on Grab and localize it according to consumers' local emotions. And it became a very convenient service for tourists by incorporating instant translation according to the characteristics of a country with many tourists. Now you can use all the services you could possibly need, including food delivery, taxi, delivery of small items, etc., all in the Grab app. It has grown into a super app, and it has become an indispensable tool in everyday life. And how did it all happen? Grab quickly took over the payment market by putting a payment service into the app. Grab is released, and if you buy a card at a convenience store or a mart and charge it, Grab allows consumers to make mobile payments through GrabPay on the Grab app, making it convenient naturally. After that, not only taxi, food delivery, but also game payment, online shopping, mall payment. It makes offline payments possible. And Grab was lucky. During COVID-19, when everyone was having a hard time, GrabMart, Grab's grocery shopping system, and Grab Food, a food delivery service, grew massively. Since then, the number of Grab users has increased. Grab's customers naturally started using credit cards. With more convenience, Grab naturally entered the fintech business. Grab has aggressively hired developers who are capable enough to be called the current Southeast Asian developer black hole. Grab's technology is starting to get better than Uber. I'm even more curious about the future moves of Grab. However, in Southeast Asia, huge companies such as Kozik, SEA, and Bolt have also emerged. There's even a situation where Grab has been pushed back in other countries in Southeast Asia. So there's a lot of talk in the world that Grab's going to recede soon. In most of Southeast Asia, Grab is the undisputed #1 player in the same model. And personally, I like Grab. It has my support. Anyway, on this occasion, we briefly talked about the story of Grab. We upload videos once a week. If you want to receive more interesting videos, please subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell.